from lemons to lemonade. In this video, I'll give you the solution to when our reality doesn't match our expectation. I'll get you retuned into what you want to achieve and get you back on track. So today I'm talking about expectation and reality and how we deal with that. But first, if this is the first time you're checking my videos, please subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Then click the notification bell so you don't miss out any of my weekday videos and keep on top of all my content. I've been thinking for a while, trying to come up with ideas and things of bringing you guys value, as much information as possible so that you can take these tools and apply them to yourself. The thing that I think that really sticks with me is about expectation, and a bit more on that, but about how our greatest pain can come from our greatest expectation, where we feel that disparity between what we had hoped to happen and the reality of what has happened. Those 2 points there creates a lot of stress, a lot of tension, and a lot of anxiety, and a lot of conversations I have really are between those 2 points. So there are a couple of things to do on this. I think first off, if this is unfamiliar with you, it's really beginning to notice when you're feeling unhappy by something and asking yourself a question: what have I expected to have happen and what actually is happening? I wouldn't ask you to necessarily change anything at this particular point, but I'd like you to be aware of it and be curious as to how you're now unhappy or in pain or upset over something, and work out that these are the 2 things in play which are creating the most amount of pain for you. Notice, become aware, become curious. Sometimes awareness can be the first step which automatically rolls out change. You might make some adjustments, you might think a little differently or course correct in some way. Understanding the reality, where we are, we look to the expectation. Now the best way to handle expectation is simply to ask, what was my ultimate goal? What did I want to achieve here overall? Sometimes expectations can be a little bit involved in the detail, involved in the kind of minutiae of certain things, rather than concentrating what was the overall outcome we were looking for. So to ask you to take a moment to look at the expectation and understand what specifically you were looking to achieve overall. What was the goal? Now, often with expectation, we can find that we can get wrapped up in minutiae. The expectation had quite specific outcomes inside it, but may not always fully reflect what the overall goal was, the overall thing to have happen. So we need to think, actually, what was my goal above all this? What was the thing above that? And that won't have changed. Your expectation of how it was going to come about has changed because you didn't get the result you're expecting. But the reality is that you still have that goal in place. You just need to find a different way of getting to it. This is really important because this is where expectation is really broken down to small pieces. We get detailed at what was going on for us, why was that so important, and that helps us say, okay, actually what I needed to have happen was this at this level here. Okay, that didn't meet my goals, my outcomes, I now need to adjust and then focus back in. But my overall goal remains the same. You probably find this in a variety of forms, either kind of friends or family or larger community, and conversations you have where expectations haven't been met. At this point, you can apply this awareness, apply understanding the reality of what's going on, and begin to extract from the expectation what it was being trying to achieve. It could be something as simple as everyone's going on a camping trip and one friend has let you down by not bringing something. And you expected them to do it, and that's upset you, and you're now angry. What's your goal above the expectation? The goal above expectation was to have a great holiday, camping with friends. Has this friend not come through greatly affected that? And you have to evaluate that. Now maybe it's just something quite small that can be easily sorted out, and you go, okay, well actually it doesn't affect that larger expectation, that the goal we want to achieve, it hasn't affected that directly, we can modify it. By getting past expectation and getting clear about the outcome really helps to go, okay, fine, we can accept where we are and then create a different solution. Maybe it's a more sore point for some people, but relationships, if someone doesn't come or follow through for you or ends a relationship and your expectation was something else, that it was going to continue, you'd go to another level. And the level could be to say, well, actually, I wanted a loving, healthy, fulfilling relationship. Well, you can still achieve that, but it's not with that person. And you may notice actually the expectations of certain things, maybe they didn't actually fully align with that larger goal. Or the larger goal is so more powerful actually that you're happy to say, well, that didn't work out with that person there. In fact, I can now pursue other things which take me towards my goal of a happy and healthy relationship. That may be quite tricky for some people. I kind of get that. What it does do is help us get clear on our outcome. When we get clear on that, we're able to then navigate from our reality towards a destination a little bit faster, a little bit quicker, a little bit happier. It's not about wiping the chalkboard and getting rid of everything. It's about saying, well, this is where I am, that's my expectation, and now I need to rewire it to get back on track to where I want to go. So it's really important to ask yourself that question: what's above the expectation? What's my bigger purpose here? And that can really help. So if all that's made sense, the final thing to consider is our own language. Just notice when we're using language which creates expectations and then sets us up in a way which we can get frustrated. The simplest one is the word should. It's when we start using should for certain things that really begins to create expectation. That person should have remembered those things for the camping trip. That person should be in love with me. That creates a judgment which are on lines of expectation where things aren't coming through as we had hoped. And a way to challenge your shoulds is by just changing that verb, putting something else in place to, I must get the camping gear, or I must go and do something else. Rather than using I should, use must. It's a little more empowering, it's a little cleaner, and doesn't set the judgment up in place, and a little more assertive. So you can replace the word should with I must, or I will, or I can. But the more we can drop our shoulds and put things in place which are more useful for us, because that's the purpose, it's about things being more useful. You've got a situation which we can't control, where we are, but how do we make the most use of it? How do we turn this around so we can actually do something with it rather than dwelling and pondering? And shoulds are a great way of doing that. Find alternatives to should, that you can do something, you will do something, you must do something. All better for you, or more useful for you, and then gets you to do the things that you actually set out to do originally, and returns you back to that focus of your higher purpose of what you wanted to achieve. So I hope you get something from that. There's a lot inside it that's packed inside. I know it has echoes of other conversations and other videos I've done as well, so go back and check this out again if you need to. What I want you to get from this is just be noticing when frustration and pain has happened for you in some form, is when your expectations have been set at a certain level but they're not meeting reality. How to handle that and get around it, and now you've got a tool to do it. So I hope you got what you need from all that. I hope there's enough information. There's a lot inside it, so please watch the video again if you need to. Give it a thumbs up, give it a comment if there's something you need more clarification on, and I'll reply to every single one of you. But until next time, take care.